We've been covering what's been going on with this LaTosha Daniels trial, and I have to say it is absolutely amazing and insane, because now LaTosha Daniels, who is allegedly being accused of having shot a pastor and his wife, she shot and killed the pastor, and then she actually shot the wife when the wife stepped in front of the pastor to try and save him from being shot, which is insane itself. Now LaTosha is going to get on the stand and we're going to hear her testimony. Y'all check this out. It's insane.
All right, have a seat there.
Would you please state and spell your name?
Latoshia Daniels, LATOSHIA DANIELS.
Now, Ms. Daniels, what you are doing right now is called a moment hearing, okay?
Okay.
And what that means is that we are talking about your rights and your decisions, okay?
Okay.
You have an absolute right not to testify. Do you understand that?
Yes.
That's called the right against self-incrimination. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have the right not to give proof in the case against you. Have we discussed that right?
Yes, we have.
Do you understand that if you decided to remain silent, the judge would tell the jury that they cannot hold that against you?
Yes.
Do you understand that you also have an absolute right to testify?
Yes.
And that this is one of the few decisions that is yours and yours alone, right?
Yes.
Mr. Horn and I cannot make this decision for you. Do you understand that?
I do understand.
Have you spoken with myself and Mr. Horn, though, about this decision?
I have.
Have you been present throughout all of the trial?
I have.
Have you been able to hear and observe all of the witnesses?
I have.
Have you been able to see all of the exhibits?
I have.
Are you aware not only of the proofs that's come forward at trial, but also of all of the discovery in your case?
I am aware of all of it.
Have you discussed that discovery and the evidence with both me and Mr. Horn?
I have.
Have you discussed the charges against you?
I have.
You understand you're charged with first-degree murder.
Yes.
Have you and I discussed the elements of first-degree murder?
Yes.
Do you understand the state has to prove each of those elements beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Do you understand all of the elements of criminal attempt first-degree murder?
Yes.
Do you understand that the state has to prove all of those elements beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Don't do it.
Do you understand the elements required for employing a firearm during a felony?
Yes.
Do you understand the state has to prove all of those beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Do you understand the elements and understand the burden of proof?
Yes.
And even, this was a superseding indictment, right?
Yes.
And you and I had discussed previously the issues in the old indictment.
Correct.
And we discussed how the new indictment kind of changed some things, right?
Yes.
You've had several discussions throughout this entire process with your whole defense team, right?
Yes.
We have prepared for trial together.
We have.
We prepared specifically regarding your testimony.
Yes.
After everything that you've heard, everything that we've discussed, and everything that you've considered, have you made a decision on whether or not you want to testify?
I have.
What is that decision?
I choose to testify.
Thank you.
Here we go.
I properly defendant is knowingly and voluntarily made a decision to testify.
Now, get her back up here.
So
They're
anything that you address for the jury comes in?
going to swear her
No?
in.
All right, you can get the jury in. Okay, she might call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The defense calls Latoshia Daniels.
Before we get started, let me know what y'all think in the comments in the chat. Was this a mistake or a smart move by the defense? Here we go.
You can raise your right hand. You swear affirm to tell the whole truth.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may have a seat.
Can you please state and spell your name?
Latoshia, LATOSHIA Daniels, DANIELS.
Before we get into all of the allegations here, have you ever testified in a situation like this before?
No,
Is this a comfortable situation?
not at all.
Please let me know if you need anything, okay? I want to talk to you about, first, your childhood. Your childhood, okay?
Okay.
Can you tell me about your parents?
My father was retired military and a minister, and my mom, she was my mother.
Was your biological father the man that you called Dad?
No, I was raised by my stepfather, and so I called him father, and my biological father I called Papa.
Now, the dad that you lived with, right? What did he do for a living?
Once he retired from the military, he was, from my knowledge, he worked at MM Combs, and he retired from there. And then he began to work for the Salvation Army, where he ran the community center where the youth would go. And so once he retired from there, he was just home sitting on the porch and buying land and doing gardens.
At any point did he become an ordained minister?
He did. I was in elementary, but I do recall him becoming an ordained minister.
Now, I say we don't want to hear any of this. The reason they're bringing it up is because what the defense brought up during opening statements, where they basically said LaTosha's father was a pastor. He was very abusive to her. She's going to get into that here shortly, I can imagine. And not only was he abusive to her, but that's why she felt like she was drawn towards the pastor, and she was able to be manipulated by the pastor that she ended up allegedly, 5 times.
What would you consider his reputation to have been within your community?
He was highly respected in our community. Everyone knew of my father and respected him well.
And did they know that you were your father's daughter?
Oh yes, to the point to where, like, if anybody seen my sisters and I, they would say, "That's Mr. Briggs' daughters." Like they knew that who we were.
Did that mean something in that community to be his daughter?
Most definitely, and we carried ourselves accordingly.
Now, how were things at home outside of public?
Things at home wasn't as what they seemed in public. My father did physically abuse my mother, and I was the one who would at nights wake up and beg him to stop.
Bro, she went from laughing to crying. Man, LaTosha, get out of here.
Did you have any siblings in the home?
I did. I had 2 little sisters.
Did the 3 of you hear as your dad
crazy.
beat your mom?
I'm not sure if they did, but I did, and I often would wake up and ask him to stop, and even sometimes try pulling them apart.
Oh, and if y'all are wondering why I seem so indifferent towards LaTosha, it's because her defense in this case is not that she didn't kill the pastor. Her defense is what we're going over right now. Her defense is that, oh, well, she was traumatized. She had all this in her past. She was vulnerable. And then she just got upset, and nobody deserves to die. I don't want to save the tears, lady.
When you were in public, did you let that side of your life show?
Oh, not at all. I went to school and I did the things that I was supposed to do, participated in sports, and just carried myself, I guess, in a normal fashion.
Is that what was expected of you?
Yes, we didn't say or tell what was going on inside of the home.
Now I want to talk to you about late in your teens, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you were 17, you got pregnant.
I did.
What happened when you got pregnant?
I shared with my dad, well, I don't know if I shared with him or not, but I was told once he found out that I needed to get married.
Did you get married?
I did.
And was that to Rodney?
Yes.
How would you describe your relationship with Rodney?
In the beginning, it was good. We both had graduated from high school, and so we was building a life together. We moved from our hometown to Little Rock, Arkansas, and purchased a home, and we were doing well. Rodney decided to go to police academy, and during that time I helped him. I made sure he studied. I did everything that I could to ensure that he made it through police academy and was successful. Once he, probably months after joining the force, things began to shift. He would ask me to do certain things that I was like out of the norm, but I was in college, and so he would then say, well, you're probably going to want somebody from college, and I didn't understand it because like I loved Rodney. I wanted our family. But even though we didn't argue, we grew distant. And I never understood why until I found out that he was having an affair.
Did you actually catch him in the act?
Not in the beginning, but during, he decided that we was going to separate. And one day while I was at school, he had packed up all my stuff, put it in a U-Haul, and drove it to my mom's house.
How long were you married to Romy?
For 4 years.
Did you eventually get divorced?
We did.
Now, after that divorce, did you attempt suicide?
I actually did it right before we actually finalized the divorce.
Did you commit suicide because of the divorce? I'm sorry, attempt to commit suicide because of the divorce.
Yes, I just didn't feel like I felt like a failure. That was the one thing. I felt like a failure. I didn't think that I was enough. And so I didn't feel I had anything to offer.
But you did go on to get an education, right?
I did.
And you didn't let your divorce or your teen pregnancy, you didn't let those things stop you from trying to get better in your life, right?
Right. I wanted to push forward. I wanted to be successful. And I mean, I had to be. So I kept going.
And you eventually became a licensed clinical social worker.
I did.
Now, I want to talk to you about your second marriage, okay? That was to Brian.
Yes.
Now, how long were you married to Brian?
I was married to Brian for 8 years.
Was that relationship positive?
No.
Did you feel loved in that relationship?
No.
Did you feel wanted in that relationship?
Not at all.
Of course not.
Would you describe Brian as being emotionally distant?
He very much was so.
Emotionally neglectful?
Yes.
Did you try to get Brian to go into marriage counseling?
Yes, we had a discussion and he didn't want to do it.
Did you determine that you would go get your own counseling?
Yes.
Did you go see a psychologist?
I did not.
Why?
Because of the field that I was in, I just wanted, I wanted spiritual guidance, but also because of me being in private practice, I was afraid of being that individual that was getting the water cooler talk per se. Just in my field, I didn't have anyone that I felt like I could really go to and trust because I was very closed off. I didn't share my business with anybody. And so going through that and being in private practice, I didn't want to take what was my income because I needed to be able to take care of the things in my life. So I did not. But I did know that spiritually, I wanted some direction.
Why did you feel like you needed spiritual direction?
Just from my first marriage, when I went to my dad and told him that I was getting a divorce, the one thing he said to me that just resonated with me was that he said he would have gotten an attorney. I'm taking away my children.
What is this lady talking about, man? This is crazy. I apologize, y'all. Bear with me. No sympathy for a mistress who break up homes. Well, there's a lot more that goes into it than that.
But it was all just like, I just felt like it was kind of like a punishment from God. And so I just didn't want to be in another failed marriage. I just didn't.
Did your dad consider it your failure that you got divorced?
Yes.
Did you seek out spiritual counseling?
I did.
Now I want to talk to you about St. Mark's, okay?
Okay.
You need some water?
Yes.
May I approach your honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Lord.
What is St. Mark's?
It's the church that I attended in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Is it a big church or a small church?
It's a big church.
Did you have any particular role within the church?
Yes. I participated in evangelism, but eventually became a life group leader.
How were you selected to become a life group leader?
One Sunday, was talking to, just in shaking hands with some of the pastors, Pastor Perry, Brodus Perry, he had asked me, he was like, you thinking about being a life group member? And at that time, I was like, I'll consider it. And then eventually I did go ahead and sign up to become a life group leader.
And this was prior to you reaching out for that spiritual counseling, right?
Correct.
How many members go to St. Mark's?
At the time, approximately 6,000.
How many people were selected to be life group leaders?
In our first set of leadership training, it may have been approximately 60 to 80 of us.
Okay. And were you then subdivided into groups?
Yes, we were divided into cohorts.
How many people were in each cohort?
About 8 to 10.
How many people were in your cohort?
It was about 8 of us.
Who was the supervisor, the supervising pastor for your cohort?
Brodus was our leader.
Would you consider y'all's group to have been a close group?
We were very close.
Did you become close with Pastor Perry through that group?
I did.
Is that why you reached out to him for spiritual counseling?
Yes, I trusted him.
Now I want to talk to you about that counseling, okay? When you approached Brodus Perry about counseling, did you explain why you wanted counseling?
I did.
What did you tell him?
I told him that my husband and I were having some marital issues and I just needed to figure out spiritually which direction. I just needed some spiritual guidance on direction.
Did Pastor Perry agree to meet with you?
He did.
Where did y'all meet?
We met at my office.
Why?
I didn't feel comfortable with being in the church and I wanted to be in a safe space because this was, again, something that I was not fully embracing, that I had to deal with, and I wanted to be in a space where I knew that I could be able to be vulnerable.
During the first counseling session, what did you discuss?
Everything that was going on within my marriage.
How long was the first counseling session?
It was about 2 hours.
Were you emotional during that process?
Yes,
Were you open?
I was.
Did you tell him very personal, private things?
I did.
How long, well, at the end of that session, did you determine at that time that you were going to ask for a second session?
Yes.
How long until you had a second session?
It was approximately 2 to 3 weeks before the next one.
Did it feel good to get all of that off of your chest?
Yes.
Did you reach out to Brodus Perry for a second counseling session?
I did.
Did he say that he would come do a second counseling session?
He did.
When you had your second counseling session, did you ask him about any odd behavior from the first session?
I did.
What was that?
In the first session, from the moment he walked through the door, he had his hands in his coat pocket, his jacket pocket, and he sat there the entire time during the session with his hands in his pocket. So I found that to be a little strange, but I didn't say anything in the first session. So I asked him during the section session, because he came in and he didn't have his hands in his pocket. And I was like, what was that with you having your hands in your pockets? And at that time, he told me it was because he was trying to maintain his professionalism.
Was that the first time that you had any indication that he might be interested in you?
That was the first time.
Did you proceed to start with the second counseling session?
We did.
What happened after you started the counseling session?
As I was talking and sharing, Brodus reached over and grabbed, I had a 2-arm chair, and he pulled me toward him and began to passionately kiss me. And from there, in that session, we did have sex for the first time.
Were you proud of
They
that
had sex in the therapy session? Come on, man.
encounter?
In hindsight, no, but at that time, he was giving me everything that I had been missing for a long time.
Did you know that he was married?
I did.
Did you know his wife?
At that time, I had seen her at church, but didn't know of her.
You got to know her better later?
Yes.
How did you feel about the fact that Brodus was married?
At that time, honestly, I did not think about it. I knew that we both were married, and I was engaged in what he was giving me.
Had you had any attention like that in a long time?
No, I hadn't.
Had
In
you
years.
had any emotional attention?
Not in years.
Physical attention?
Not like that, no.
After your counseling sessions, did you end up getting divorced?
That was in February, and I did end up getting divorced in December of that year.
That's when it was finalized?
Yes.
And did Pastor Perry encourage you to get divorced?
We talked about it, and there were times whenever we would be on trips, he would make mention of, oh, we can't do that until you get a divorce, or we can't do this until you get a divorce.
Wow.
Now, I want to talk to you about your relationship with Brodus Perry, okay?
Okay.
After y'all had sex, did Brodus give you any particular instructions?
Yes. He immediately told me to download a app for us to be able to communicate. That app was called Confide.
Tell the jury what the Confide app did.
The Confide app is whenever you would send a message, and when you read that message, it would disappear. You couldn't screenshot it or anything like that. It would immediately disappear once you took your finger off the screen.
Wow.
Did Brodus teach you how to use that app?
As we continued the app, it was probably maybe a week or two later, he found out that if you had, like, other people had your phone number in your phone and they had that app, then they could see you on it. So he had me to change my name on it and also change the way that I attached it to my account. So I went from having my phone number to coming up with a email address. So I made a new email address to be able to attach it that nobody else had.
And he taught you what all you needed to do for that app to do that?
Correct.
So that it could not be traceable back to you?
Correct.
And he did that all very quickly?
Yes.
Did he have, or was it almost a rule? Was it a rule that you had to use that app to talk to him?
Most definitely. That was our main form of communication. As the relationship went on, if he wanted to use a different form of communication, like an email or maybe even direct messaging, he would then tell me, go to this platform or go to that one. But it was not, if I was to reach out to him without him reaching out to me first, I had to use the Confide app.
Did he set any other rules for your relationship?
Yes. As far as it came to trips that he wanted me to go on with him, I was the one who had to pay my way as far as airfare or travel, and then he would, his words would, he would then take care of the rest, meaning that I would have somewhere to stay. When I was in the hotel rooms, I was to stay naked. I couldn't have on any clothes. I had to, and the only way I would have clothes on is if, like, we were getting ready to go out. But other than that, when in the hotel room, I had to be naked. I couldn't, if something was to have happened to him as far as medically, he did not want me to call 911. I would have to call, who we referenced him as the professor, but it was Pastor Pointer. I would have to call him in order to get him emergency attention. He said verbatim lots of times, do not call 911.
Did he add any rules towards the end of your relationship?
At the end of the relationship, he wanted me to say yes, sir, and no, sir to him.
Now, I want to kind of break those down individually, okay?
Okay.
You were required to use the Confide app.
Yes.
I want to talk to you about the travel, okay? What kind of trips did Brodus want you to come on?
The very first one was to Vegas. He had some convention or something that he was at, and so that was the first one.
Wow.
He had invited me to go to Cuba with him that year, but he ended up right at the last minute changing it, saying that Tabitha wanted to go with him, so she went with him, and he was like, well, since you're not going to Cuba, go ahead and sign up to go to Israel for the church group trip. So I signed up to go to Israel and paid my way for that. I traveled with him to Savannah whenever he would go with Pastor Pointer.
Were there some trips that were for the pastors?
Yes.
And then other trips that were for the church group members?
The only church group that trip we went on was to Israel. The rest of them would be if he was doing something on his own, I guess, speaking engagement wise, or if he was following Pastor Pointer.
And then were there also personal trips?
And then we had personal trips.
He was out there doing the Lord's work. All right, we're going to take a break here and get into the rest of the testimony coming up shortly. Y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments in the chat. Wild story. She knew what she was getting into. The pastor knew what he was getting into and doing. And I highly doubt this was the first time it happened. Did he deserve to? I don't think so. I don't believe so at all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.